This is an Aldi 1000 lumen bike torch. I've had this one for a couple of years now. They seem to release them every year. I really love it. It's portable, it's got a really good, easy to use mount, and I know that it takes an 18650 battery. The only problem is this one is starting to die, so I'm just waiting. I know that the light is going to go red in a minute. You can see the tip of an 18650 battery there, so basically I'm going to pull this apart. So there we go, it's starting to blink red, you can see that, which means it's in low battery mode. They normally should last an hour on high and I think 3 hours on low, high being 1000 lumens, low being 500. So there's the little Cree there. So I'm going to see if I can pull this apart and relieve it of its battery and change it out. So I figure the easiest way of doing this is to pull out. I can feel it as you push it forward and backwards, it's catching on something. I'm just going to pop that out like so, and it's still stuck, so there's still something in there that's stopping this whole thing sliding out. Now, it could have been a couple of years ago now, I did a review of an Aldi 1000 lumen bicycle torch. You can just sort of see the remnants of the barcode there. Now, I'm so impressed with this thing and remain impressed. Like, this thing's now 3 years old, still as bright as the day that it was bought. Really fantastic torch, but I bought this one as a replacement to another one, and I thought, what if you could pull it apart? And you can see I've had a go here. That's basically as much as you can pull one of these apart without essentially destroying it. It just will not come apart any further than this. Now, they do come up on sale from time to time. In fact, 8th of April 2023, $25. I think they were $20 initially, so they've gone up $5 in 5 years, whatever. You just cannot get this thing apart. So I've looked inside it as much as I can. I've slid things inside it, including my lock picking tools, which are all of these. You just can't really get anything down the side of it. So I thought, how am I going to pull this thing apart? So I figured that I've taken an old hacksaw blade, so from a jigsaw, and this one has the pin removed, and I'm going to try and slide it around, and essentially I think there are some plastic tabs in here. If I can replace the 18650 battery, I've got myself a brand new torch, because everything else is complete and everything else works. So I'm going to have a bit of a crack at gently sawing. I'm going to push it this way, and I'm going to see if I can gently work the saw blade around and saw through any plastic tabs that might have been used to clip it in during the process. And I'm just going to see if I can gently saw around and just see if I can pull this thing apart. It's going to take a while. So I've taken this thing out to the garage and I put it in the vise, and I was basically using a vise grip on either end of the blade, and I was using a sawing motion to go backwards and forwards. And then I thought, hang on a minute, I'm going to probably destroy the internal threading if I keep going with that, because it's only machined aluminium, and I'm probably almost certainly going to destroy any other sensitive electronics in here. So I thought, hang on a minute, if there are two tabs either side, maybe I can put it in the vise and crush the end gently to deflect the case enough, because it is only a circle, to deflect it enough so that I can pull the tabs out. So I'm going to try that. Pop that in there, and I think the tabs are on either side, left and right, if that's across the axis. So I'm going to crush it across the top like so, just gently. Oh, come on. A little bit more, a little bit more, a little bit more. This is the way to do it. It looks like I've almost got it. It's partly out. Alright, so this is the next iteration. I've just loosely suspended that between the chocks on the vise, and I'm going to get a flat-ended bolt, and I'm just going to see if I can tap that out. Yeah, it's coming out. Ha-ha! Success! And I pulled this thing apart, and you can see that it definitely had a couple of tabs either side that I did try and sort of semi-successfully saw off, and definitely lithium battery, if you can read that, 18650, 2400 milliamp hour, 3.7 volt, made 2015, 10, 14. So if I can replace this, I'll have myself a brand new bike torch. Righto, so the next step is with this existing one, make sure I haven't destroyed it. So I'm going to see if I can actually charge this old battery. Righto, so this is my special little device that tells me voltage, 5.13 volts. Just plugged into a good old wall socket there. And I'm going to charge this. You should get a little green charge LED up the top here. This is absolutely flat. So I'm just plugging it into a different power point with a different charger, 4.9 volts. And I'm getting tiny little pulse flashes from the blue charge LED. So I'm just going to give that a couple of hours. Now what that should tell me is the milliamp hours absorbed by the battery, and the time taken and the amps taken to charge. So we'll see if there's any signs of life. Alright, it's been an hour and I'm still getting this little dinky flashing light there, and you can see here it hasn't absorbed any current into the battery, so I'm going to swap it over and put it into my extra charger, which I know will charge that battery, and we'll see how we go. Battery is totally stuffed. She's a dead. Alright, find another battery. I've got a selection here. So this is a genuine Panasonic 18650 3400 milliamp hour battery. These ones are out of Dyson's. So the battery packs out of old Dyson stick vacuums are perfect. Whoa, goodness me. So that has not been charged for ages, and that is obviously still very good. So we know that this still works. Keep in mind that, see the difference in length? So this one doesn't have a button top. This one just fits, and it's a button top one, which means it's a little bit longer. Just plugged in the good Panasonic battery, NCR 18650B, B for button top. You can see that the blue LED, the charge indicator, is solid, which is what it should be, and you can see immediately that it's starting to absorb current. So the next trick obviously is to reassemble this fella. So got all the components here, including the new battery. So that's got to go in like that. In fact, what I'm going to try and do is I'm going to put the switch, which I've cleaned, I'll put that in first. That might make it a bit easier. That's jamming again, so I've got to squeeze this on the outside to deflect it, deform it I mean. I feel that wants to go in. It's mostly in, but not quite. So I've checked the other one. You can see it's got probably another, give or take, 5mm, quarter an inch to go. That looks about perfect. Now I've got to reassemble the top. This needs some thermal paste because these Cree LEDs get extremely hot, so I'm going to put some thermal paste on it, then I'll reassemble it. There's a little spring that sits, in that little there. There you go, silicon heat transfer compound. Always helps to have some spare. Put it on the back of there, like so. So that's done. Just going to clean this off because these get extremely hot. You've got to pull the wires through, otherwise it just won't go in. Clean that off, which is a focusing lens. And hopefully, it works. Okay, so that is how you put one of these back together and take it apart. Now I'm going to do a runtime test, see how long they last.